Your. How's your family? Where are your keys? You're American, aren't you? Tell me when you're ready. Is this your car? You're late again, Bob. Which one is yours? 1. Which one is better? One of them is broken. I'll use the other one. I like the red one, Edwin. That's the last one. The next one will be better. Here's one for you. Let 'em go one by one. It's the best. What's the matter? What's the problem? I have to go to the bathroom. Who's the boss around here? Give it to the dog. Put it in the drawer. It's a present. You need a break. Give him a chance. Let's get a new pair of shoes. Can I have a Coke, please? Is that a computer? Where's a public telephone? It's the top of the line. It's a state-of-the-art printer. As a matter of fact, get out of here. Practice all of the time. Today's the 1st of May. What's the name of that movie? That's the best of all. Some of 'em. All of 'em. Most of 'em. None of 'em. Any of 'em. The rest of 'em. Can. Can you speak English? I can only do it on Wednesday. A can opener can open cans. Can I help you? Can you do it? We can try it later. I hope you can sell it. No one can fix it. Let me know if you can find it. Had. Jack had had enough. Bill had forgotten again. What had he done to deserve it? We'd already seen it. He'd never been there. Had you ever had one? Where'd he hidden it? Bob said he'd looked into it. Would. He would have helped if. Would he like one? Do you think he'd do it? Why would I tell her? We'd see it again if. He'd never be there on time. Would you ever have one? Was. He was only trying to help. Mark was American. Where was it? How was it? That was great. Who was with you? She was very clear. When was the War of 1812? What? What time is it? What's up? What's on your agenda? What do you mean? What'd you mean? What'd you do about it? What took so long? What do you think of this? What'd you do then? I don't know what he wants. Some. Some are better than others. There are some leftovers. Let's buy some ice cream. Could we get some other ones? Take some of mine. Would you like some more?
Hello, you must be Len. I'm Bill, Kate's husband.
Oh, hello, Bill. Nice to meet you. Thanks for inviting me.
You're welcome. Kate and I thought it was about time we had a get-together and met each other's work colleagues. Kate tells me you've just joined the company.
Yes, I've been there about 4 months now. Kate's been very helpful, showing me the ropes.
Yeah, she enjoys her job.
What line of work are you in, Bill?
I'm a builder. I work with Joe and Kevin over there.
Oh, yes. I met Kevin earlier. Well, it's a top spot you have here, Bill.
Thanks. Yes, it has a lot going for it. It beats living in the city.
You can say that again. Have you lived here long?
Oh, going on 3 years now. Mind you, the house wasn't like this when we moved in. It's taken the good part of 3 years to do it up. But I enjoy decorating. It's a hobby, really.
Well, it's a credit to you. It looks great.
Thanks very much. Can I get you another drink?
No, thanks. I'm okay. I'm playing golf first thing in the morning, so I want to have my wits about me.
Oh, Kate and I play golf now and again. We should get together for a game sometime.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll take you up on that. By the way, have you been following the tennis? Who won last night?
I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not really up on tennis. I watch a game on TV once in a while, but I'm not really into it. Come on, I'll introduce you to Joe. He'll be up on the latest results.
Hi, I'm glad you could make it. You're the first one here. Make yourself comfortable.
Thanks, and you look great. Red looks great on you.
Oh, thanks. It's nice to be out of work clothes. Can I get you something to drink?
Sure, what are you having?
I'm just having a beer. Want one?
Sure. What a cool place. This is a really nice apartment.
Here you go. Actually, I just moved in last month, and I'm still decorating. But that's nice of you to say.
Wow, nice picture. Did you paint this?
No, I didn't. Somebody named Picasso did. It's just a copy. You know, I really appreciate the compliments, but what's up?
Up? Nothing. I'm just glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you're here too. Now, drink up. The others should be here any minute.
Sure. Cheers. Sure. Cheers.
One. I really like Allison. She's such fun to be with. She always makes me laugh. Did she tell you the story about her first date? I don't think I've laughed so hard in my whole life. 2.
I went out with this guy a couple of times. Ted Roberts. Maybe you know him. He's okay, I guess, but the guy's got no future. I think he just wants to spend the rest of his life surfing.
3.
Tony Lee asked me out the other night, and I said no. You know, he is really embarrassing to be with. Last time I went out to a party with him, he nearly got into a fight with someone. Then later on, he ended up spilling his drink all over me.
4.
I've been out with Sandra Bronstein a few times. She's really an interesting person. I didn't realize her father is a pretty well-known artist, and her mother is a successful stockbroker. I'd like to meet her parents sometime, but I don't think she's too serious about me. She hasn't invited me to meet them yet.
5.
Do you know Rob, the guy in our Spanish class? Anyway, he's invited me out on a date. You know the one I mean. He's kind of thin, very tall, with long curly hair. Just my type.
6.
I was stuck with Martha at a dinner party the other day. No matter what I said, I couldn't get her to smile. I wonder what her problem is.
My friend Marlene is coming to town for a visit.
Have I met Marlene?
No, I don't think so. We grew up together, and we were always joined at the hip.
When I was little, I had a friend like that. We were blood brothers.
Yeah, Marlene and I did everything together, and she was my confidant about everything.
She sounds like a great friend.
Yeah, she always had my back, and I could always count on her to give it to me straight.
A friend like that is hard to come by. Are you still close?
Not as close as I'd like. We live in different cities, and it's hard to keep up with what's happening in each other's lives.
I can see that. Does she know you're getting married?
No, I wanted to break the news to her face to face.
Why? I would have thought you'd want to tell her the good news right away.
Well, I want her to be my maid of honor, and I'm not sure how she'll react to the dress she'll have to wear.
Is it that bad?
My future mother-in-law picked it out, and I can't say no. Here's a picture of it.
Well, I'm glad she's such a good friend, because if anything can break up a friendship, it's that dress.
I used to be a total couch potato until I realized that I really needed to start getting in shape. So I began jogging. At first, I just ran about a mile, then 5, then 10, and finally, I ran a marathon. I've been running for a couple of years now, and I'm getting better. I ran my last race in under 4 hours.
I live with my parents and my brother in a house that is full of animals. Dogs, cats, hamsters, you name it. The thing I like doing best is making home movies with them as the stars. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and I have some great films, especially of my cat, Jack.
My favorite subject in school is literature. Lately, my friends and I are really into writing poetry. I've only been doing it for a few months now, but I really like it. And the best part is that my English teacher thinks that some of my poems are excellent. Not bad for a beginner, huh?
Check out this new game I just got.
Let me see. Oh, it's a fighting game. I'm not into those. I like role-playing or simulation games a lot better.
This isn't just a fighting game. You have to use strategy for each mission. Check out these amazing graphics.
I can't play that at my house. I have a different console.
Yes, you can. It's multi-platform. Look at the box. It says you can use a joystick as your navigation system or a keyboard and mouse.
You know, right now I'm really into retro games.
You mean last year's games?
No, I mean really old-school games, like the ones my parents used to play.
You mean like Pac-Man and Pong?
Yeah, exactly. They're classic and a lot less violent.
Yeah, but they're so boring you fall asleep playing them. You can't call yourself a gamer if you play those kinds of games. Give me 3D action and some blood and gore.
You can have it. I'll pass. Have it. I'll pass.
Bernie, I'm home.
Hi, Mimi.
So, what have you been doing today?
Oh, I just messed around on the internet.
But you always just mess around on the internet. So what did you do?
Well, you know I used to talk about this old friend from school, Brian?
Yeah?
Well, I found him on the internet. There's a cool new site where you can find people. So I put in his name, and there he was.
Great! What else?
Well, then I checked out a CD site and got a bit carried away.
What do you mean, carried away?
Well, I kind of spent about $150 on new CDs. But wait till you hear them. They're great.
Then what?
Well, then I checked out our bank balance.
Oh, that's good.
Well, not when you see the balance.
Oh.
But don't worry. I'll get my paycheck next week. Oh, and I read the news online and caught up on all the sports results. I had to. You took the newspaper to work with you this morning.
Oops. Sorry, dear.
Listen to Yuko and George talking about the Internet. What do they use the Internet for? Check the correct columns. Listen again. How much time do they spend on each activity?
Hi, George. Hey, Yuko.
Hi.
Hi, Brian.
What's up?
Not much. Yuko's doing this survey on internet usage. How often you use it and what you use it for, you know.
Well, let's see. Wow, Yuko. You spend 3 hours a day on the internet? Doing what?
Well, I surf the web like everyone. That takes about 30 minutes. And then I like to read the local newspaper to find out what's going on back home. That takes another 30 minutes. But the main thing is that I'm doing this online course, and I spend about an hour and a half each day on that.
Doing what?
Taking tutorials, visiting the online library, chatting with my classmates. A lot of things, like the tutorials, take more time than if you're doing them face-to-face.
And the rest of the time?
Checking my emails, sending messages to my folks.
How about you, George?
Well, like Yuko, I spend about 20 minutes a day just generally surfing around. I know it's a bit of a waste of time, but I can't do without it. I'm addicted. I look up the sports news. That takes me about 10 to 15 minutes. I like doing my grocery shopping online too. On average, that takes, about 15 minutes. That's about it, really.
You don't do any emailing?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'd say I spend another 10 minutes a day on emails.
I was vacationing in Miami, Florida, and I went into a souvenir store to get some gifts for friends back home. Could you show me where the t-shirts are?
Sure, they're on the left along the wall. Can I help you find something?
I'd like to get a t-shirt, but I'm not sure about the size. It's for a friend who's about your size.
Well, in that case, you'll need a large. I only have these in medium or small, but I have these two in size large.
Do you have anything in another color or another style?
How about this one?
That's great. Could you also recommend a gift for a young woman?
We have a lot of locally made items. I don't think you want a mug, a keychain, or a snow globe. But how about some jewelry?
Oh, this bracelet is nice. How much is it?
It's on sale for $36.
Okay, I'll take the t-shirt and the bracelet. Do you have a box for the bracelet?
Sure, no problem. That'll be $59.60 with tax.
There you go.
Here's your change. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in.
What are the people trying to sell? Listen and number the items 1 through 3. Then listen again and write the key words that helped you decide.
1.
I can give you a special price.
But I don't really need...
$20. You go to the mall, you'll pay $35.
Look, I have a pair already. I don't need 2 pairs.
$15. Look, the best brand.
Yes, but...
You should always have 2 pairs. Keep 1 pair in your car. Summer's coming soon, you know.
I'll give you $10.
2 pairs for $25.
2.
Look at this. Only one left.
How much?
$50.
But I can buy one in the store for $60, and there I get a guarantee.
You don't need a guarantee. This is high quality.
Yes, but if it falls...
Look, it has a calendar, a dress book, calculator, appointments. Everything you need.
But I already have all those things.
Not all in one.
No, but
Tell you what, I'll give it to you for $40. Special price, because it's the last one.
3.
Is it genuine?
Well, it's a genuine copy.
Genuine copy. How much?
$50.
Oh, not cheap.
It's a very good copy.
I see.
You buy some, and they're no good. They break before you get home. This one will keep going.
Will it?
Uh-huh.
For how long?
Maybe 1 year.
1 year, and you want me to pay...
Well, you can still wear it. It still looks good. Like a nice piece of jewelry.
But I don't want to wear it for jewelry. I want to wear it to tell time.
It was Saturday afternoon, and I was shopping in the garment district in downtown LA. If you want to find good deals on clothes, shoes, and accessories, this is the place to come. To get the best deal, though, you have to be ready to bargain. I walked by a stall and saw a purse I liked. The owner had just finished making a sale. Does this come in any other colors?
Yeah, we have this one in white and blue. I also have this other style in green.
How much is the blue one?
It's $32.
$32? What about the green one?
That's $30.
That seems a little high. Can you do better on the price?
This is a designer bag, and it's good quality. It's a bargain at that price.
Is that your best offer?
That's the best I can do.
Well, I don't know. I think I'll shop around.
Okay, how about $28?
That's still more than I wanted to spend. What if I take the blue one and the green one?
I'll give you both of them for $55.
That's not much of a break on the price. How about $50 for both?
You drive a hard bargain. The best I can do is $54. You won't find it cheaper anywhere else.
Why don't we split the difference and make it $52?
Okay. You've got a deal.
$2.
Okay. You've got a deal.
Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to return this jacket.
Is there something the matter with it?
Yes, I didn't notice when I bought it, but there are a few problems. First, it has a tear in the lining.
Actually, it's torn in several places.
And some of the buttons are very loose. This one came off, in fact, and there's a stain on the collar.
I'm really sorry about this. Would you like to exchange it for another one?
Well, to be honest, I don't think this jacket's very well made. I'd rather get a refund.
I understand. Do you have the receipt?
Listening. Fair exchange. Listen to 3 customers returning items they purchased. Complete the chart. 1.
Can I help you?
Yes, I bought this briefcase here last week, but there's something wrong with the lock. I can't get it to close properly.
Let me see. Yes, I see what you mean. The lock seems to be jammed or something. No problem. I'll get you another one. Sorry about that.
2.
Hi.
Yes?
I wonder if you could take a look at these shoes I bought here. They're pretty new, but they seem to be falling apart.
Oh, let me see. Yes, this doesn't look right. The stitching is coming out. How long did you say you've had them?
Only about a month. Here's the receipt.
Yes. Well, let me exchange these for you. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
3.
Excuse me. Yes? How can I help you? You see this shirt? I bought it here a few weeks ago, but the first time I washed it, the color changed. It went from bright red to light pink.
How did you wash it?
Well, I just tossed it into the washing machine with my other clothes.
What temperature did you use?
I usually wash my clothes in hot water, so I guess hot.
Well, did you check the washing instructions?
Maybe not.
Well, you see here on this label? It says wash in cold water only. So I'm really sorry, but since you didn't follow the washing instructions, I can't really do anything for you.
Do you want to take a class with me at the community college?
Maybe. What are they offering?
Well, here's the course catalog. Take a look.
They've got a lot of language classes. Chinese, German, Japanese. Would you rather learn an Asian language or a European one?
Actually, I think I'd rather take an art class. They have one on landscape photography and another on making videos.
That sounds okay. But I think I'd prefer studying video to learning about photography.
Oh, wait. It says here that you need to provide your own video equipment.
Oh, I'd rather not spend a lot of money. Well, let's see what else they're offering.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What course do they decide to take? Why?
Hey, this sounds kind of interesting. The art of bonsai.
What's bonsai?
You know, those miniature trees, they grow in little tubs. It says here that they have a course on how to grow them and on how to develop a business selling bonsais. Apparently, you can sell them for up to $500 apiece.
Really? Wow, that does sound good. We could learn how to grow them and then maybe set up a little business.
Yeah, we could do it out at my dad's place. He has lots of room to grow things in his garden.
Is the course expensive? Do you have to buy any special equipment?
It says no special equipment is required except plant containers and some young trees.
Let's check it out then.
One. I see here that you've got a lot of experience. Tell me, Steve, how did you first get interested in the computer field?
Well, working in computers is all I ever really wanted to do. I got my first computer when I was about 10, and I've spent most of my time working with them ever since.
What is it that interests you about computer programming?
It's just a really creative job, I guess. You get a chance to make something from nothing.
2.
I just can't believe you're a police officer, Margot. I remember in high school you always wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah, I guess it was all those TV shows about lawyers. I started law school, but then I realized it just wasn't the right career for me.
But isn't it a dangerous job, all those criminals out there with guns?
Sometimes I wish it were a little more dangerous. Right now, all I do is write traffic tickets. It's kind of boring, actually. 3.
I guess they told you on the phone that we're looking for someone to do oil changes, tune-ups, that sort of thing.
I'm your man, then. Those are exactly the kinds of things I did in my last job.
And why did you leave your previous employer?
Well, I was working for a trucking company, and the owner wanted me to do extra work on top of my job as a mechanic.
What type of work?
Delivering stuff, mostly. I didn't like it too much. Being a mechanic is really enjoyable. I love working on engines.
4.
So, Mark, you've decided to go into education. What made you decide to choose that field?
I guess I just think it's the right choice for me. I used to have a part-time job as a tutor, and I really liked it.
That's great. There's just a couple of things you should probably consider. First of all, you know you're not likely to get rich teaching school, right?
Yeah, I know it's not a very high-paying job, but that's not the reason I'm going into it. Helping people learn is just really satisfying for me.
One, he's a nice guy. 2, he's an American guy from San Francisco. 3, the cheerleader needs a rubber band to hold her ponytail. 4, the executive assistant needs a paperclip for the final report. 5, the law student took an English test in a foreign country. 6, the policeman saw a red car on the freeway in Los Angeles. 7, my old dog has long ears and a flea problem. 8, the new teacher broke his coffee cup on the first day. 9, his best friend has a broken cup in his other office. 10, let's play football on the weekend in New York. 11, Jingle Bells is a nice song. 12, where are my new shoes? 13, where are my tennis shoes? 14, I have a headache from the heat wave in South Carolina. 15, the newlyweds took a long walk in Long Beach. 16, the little dog was sitting on the sidewalk. 17, the famous athlete changed clothes in the locker room. 18, the art exhibit was held in an empty room. 19, there was a class reunion at the high school. 20, The headlines indicated a new policy. 21. We got online and went to AmericanAccent.com. 22. The stock options were listed in the company directory. 23. All the second graders were out on the playground.
Conversation. Storytelling. Listen and practice.
What an awful story. A couple was sailing their yacht from Hawaii to Mexico. While they were crossing the Pacific, their boat hit a whale and sank.
Is that true? What happened to the whale?
It doesn't say. Oh, and here's another one. A guy in Los Angeles was robbing a bank, but as he was escaping, he got caught in the revolving door.
I guess it was his first bank robbery.
Yeah. Oh, and listen to this. Some guy got locked out of his house, so he tried to get in through the chimney.
Don't tell me. He got stuck in the chimney.
Exactly. And he was still trying to get out 2 days later when the police rescued him. How did you get into modeling, Stacy?
Well, when I graduated from drama school, I moved to Los Angeles to look for work as an actress. I was going to auditions every day, but I never got any parts. And I was running out of money.
So, what did you do?
I got a job as a waitress in a seafood restaurant. While I was working there, a customer offered me some work as a model. Within a few weeks, I was modeling full-time.
Wow, what a lucky break.
Listen to the rest of the conversation. What did Richard do after he graduated? What does he do now?
So, Richard, what did you do after you graduated?
Well, I majored in English literature in college.
Uh-huh.
So when I graduated, I tried to make my living as a writer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, I've written a novel, and I've sent it to 8 different publishers, but they all, rejected it. Say, would you like to read it, Stacy? I have it right here with me.
Well, I'd love to read it, Richard, but not right now. So do you have a job or anything?
Oh, yes. I'm in sales.
Oh, where?
Actually, I'm a sales clerk in a hardware store. But when my novel sells, I know I'll be a best-selling author and I'll make lots of money.
The trip to Thailand was fine, except that our flight arrived late. By the time we landed in Bangkok, our connecting flight to Koh Samui had left. Luckily, I have a friend who lives in Bangkok, and we were able to stay there overnight. The city is absolutely amazing. My travel companions had been there before, so they knew what to expect. But I was just stunned by the beauty of the place.
Hi. How are things? I'm in France. It's been an exciting trip. We flew into Paris about a week ago and stayed in a youth hostel. After we'd spent 2 nights there, we decided to catch a TGV, that's a very fast train, to the south of France. Unfortunately, we overslept, and when we got to the station, the train had already left. But I'm kind of glad. Paris is very cool. Walking around the city is great, but you have to be careful. Some people drive really dangerously.
Listen. Which sentence best describes the situation? Circle the correct answer. 1.
Hello, I'm Alvin James, and this is Travel Talk, the program with news and views about the world of travel. Tonight, our topic is travel nightmares. Call and tell us about the worst thing that happened to you on vacation. And our first caller is Melanie. Hi, Melanie. What's your story?
Well, Alvin, my friend and I decided to go to Mexico last spring.
Good choice. So what was your nightmare?
Well, we flew to New York, and then we caught a charter flight to Mexico City. But during the flight, they made an announcement. They said that the weather was bad in Mexico City, so we were going to land at a place called Tampico.
Okay, I know it. On the coast. Nice place.
Maybe it is, I don't know. We just sat on the runway at the airport for 5 hours.
5 hours? You didn't get off the plane?
No. Before we landed, they told us that there was no immigration at the airport, and so we couldn't get off the plane.
Didn't anyone complain?
Of course. But eventually the weather got better and we took off. I guess a lot of planes had been delayed, so we spent 2 hours circling over Mexico City. But you know what? It still turned out to be a pretty great vacation.
2.
Okay, our next caller is Ritsuko. Ritsuko, you're on the air. What do you want to talk about?
Well, last year my husband and I went to Florida.
Was it your first time there?
No, we'd been before, but we'd never been to the Gulf Coast.
I see.
Well, the hotel we booked looked nice online, but there was one small problem. They hadn't finished building it when we arrived.
What do you mean?
Well, at first everything looked okay, but they hadn't finished putting the roof on it. They said there was really no problem because it never rains there in July.
Are you sure about that?
Well, get this. So we went to bed, fell asleep, and guess what? It rained all night.
No.
We were on the second floor, but by the time we got down to the first floor, the water had completely soaked the reception area.
So what did you do?
We went and sat by the swimming pool and watched the rain.
3.
Okay, next up we have Andrew. Hi, you're on Travel Talk. Do you want to tell us about your vacation nightmare?
I sure do. I went scuba diving in Australia with a bunch of friends last year.
Great. So what was the nightmare?
Well, there were about 10 of us. We got on the boat to go to the reef, and everything was fine. Suddenly, the weather turned bad, and the boat was hit by lightning.
Oh, no. You're kidding.
No. So that meant that the radio didn't work. And then we hit the reef, and the boat started sinking. And here's the best part. Only one person had a cell phone with them.
Really?
It was this British guy, and his battery was running low. I guess he'd forgotten to charge it before we left. So he made one last phone call to his mother.
His mother? In England?
Yes.
And what happened?
The guy explained the situation, and then his mother made some calls and arranged for help. An hour later, we were rescued.
Well, that's good. But how scary.
Yeah, but it makes a pretty cool story.
I hear Maggie is going to work in India.
India? Wow. I hear it's a beautiful place, but I don't think I could ever live there.
Why not?
Well, it's too far from home. I'd miss my family.
I don't think I'd mind moving to a foreign country. The language is the only thing that I'd be worried about.
Yeah, but wouldn't you miss your friends?
Sure, for a while. But I'd make new ones.
You certainly sound very confident.
You know, actually there is one thing I'd miss.
What's that?
My dog.
So, Richard, how do you think the meeting went?
Not bad, Alan.
I think it went well. They were smiling and nodding all the time.
Yeah.
So what's the problem?
I'm thinking about Mr. Lee, the managing director.
What about him? I thought he was really nice, and he seemed to like our ideas.
Yes, I know.
So why do you look so serious?
I'm just thinking about business cards. Everyone in the room gave us one.
So?
We should have given out our business cards too, especially to Mr. Lee.
I know, but we couldn't. We used them all up yesterday.
Maybe we should have printed more before we left the U.S.
When I was studying in Korea, I was invited to another student's home. I noticed that the family was a little surprised by my behavior. When I was offered some tea, I held out my cup with one hand. Apparently, I should have held it with two hands. And when someone asked me to pass the teapot, I passed it with one hand. I also made direct eye contact during a conversation, another thing I shouldn't have done. I learned later that it's considered bold.
I met my Peruvian host family for the first time on Friday. The father put out his hand, so I shook it. Then, with his other hand, he slapped me on the back. I wasn't expecting it, so I guess I jumped a little bit. Then, when his wife shook my hand, I slapped her on the back. The look on her face told me that I shouldn't have done that. Fortunately, they both started laughing. Oh well, at least I learned from my experience.
On my first day of class, I could see the Japanese students are just like us. When they meet, they say hi and maybe wave. But I wasn't sure what to do when I met someone older. Should I bow or shake hands? When I met my Japanese tutor for the first time, I bowed and sat down. He looked pleased. "That's very nice," he said. "We don't expect foreign students to do that." Then he added, "However, you should have waited until I invited you to take a seat."
I'm thinking of going back to school to get another degree. It's so hard to find a job with a degree in literature.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I should have studied something more practical. If I'd been more sensible, I would have majored in economics.
Why did you major in literature?
I don't know. I should have listened to my mother. She wanted me to major in business.
Oh, what does she do?
Mom? She's a literature professor.
I guess I could have made better use of my time in college, too.
How do you mean?
Oh, I spent too much time studying. I should have taken part in more extracurricular activities. You know, like joining the drama club or the swimming team or something like that. If I'd enjoyed myself more, I would have made a lot more friends.
Yeah, but didn't you get incredible grades in college? You might not have done so well if you'd spent your time doing a lot of other things.
Oh, I know lots of people who studied hard and did well, but played hard too, and left college with 4 years of terrific memories. I really regret that I didn't do that. I missed out entirely.
One. Sally.
One thing that was really a turning point for me was when I learned Spanish. I was always kind of scared of learning a foreign language, yet I was really envious of kids who could speak another language. But when I started learning Spanish, I found I was actually pretty good at it. And the moment I reached that breakthrough stage, you know, when you discover you can actually speak and communicate with people in the language, I felt really proud of myself. I realized that learning a foreign language wasn't an impossible thing after all. Now I can speak 3, Spanish, Italian, and German. And I'm taking Korean this year.
2. Henry.
I'm a twin, and my twin brother and I have always been very close. We always did everything together, and we were never apart for any time at all, until we were 18. Then we went to different colleges in different towns, and that was the first time we had ever really had to cope on our own. I think it was good in a way because we both became more confident and independent. Until then, I had always had my brother to depend on whenever I ran into a problem. But once I went away to college, I realized I was actually capable of working things out on my own.
3. Debbie.
I guess I was always pretty shy in school, and I didn't share a lot of things with people, not even with my parents. Then one time it was awards day at school. I didn't think I was getting any prizes or anything, and neither did my parents. So we were all pretty surprised when the principal announced that I was the top student in my class. Afterward, I didn't think too much about it, but then people suddenly started treating me differently. I think some of the kids in school started looking up to me, and I became a lot more outgoing after that.
One. You already use your cell phone to send emails, play games, and surf the internet. Why not use it to take pictures, too? If you're planning to buy a new phone, buy the Sharpshoot XL50 with a built-in digital camera. The new Sharpshoot XL50 also has wireless internet connection, so you can send images to other phones and post them on the internet for the whole world to see. Order now to get the special introductory price of just $99.99. 2. Do you travel for business or pleasure? Do you have trouble communicating in other countries? Then the new Zip 1000 electronic translator is for you. The Zip is a must for English-speaking tourists or business travelers worldwide. The Zip will translate English into many different languages, such as Japanese, Chinese, German, or Korean. You can use it to translate individual words or complete sentences. With a Zip, you can see the words and even listen to them and practice the pronunciation. Zip, the fast and easy way to step up your language skills. And best of all, Zip has an everyday low price of $249.99. 3. Do you only use your MP3 player to listen to music? If so, it may be time to upgrade. With NewTune, you can download tracks from the internet and read the lyrics of the songs you're listening to. You can also listen to your favorite radio station and see the names of the hot new artists. You can even use it to record your own karaoke songs. For watching music videos and clips from new movies, you're going to love the high-speed internet connection. And for 1 month only, you can buy NewTune for only $499. Don't wait, get one today.
My name is Gary, and I'm a photographer. My specialty is taking pictures for fashion magazines. Not surprisingly, the possession I couldn't live without is my brand new digital camera. Obviously, I use it for taking photographs, but it also has a video component. Sometimes I use it to make short films, just for fun.
Hi, my name is Milena, and I work for a local radio station. I couldn't live without my new cell phone. The sound quality is excellent, so I can use it to call the station and report live on air. It's also useful for having conversations with my boyfriend. And since it's an expensive phone, it's also good for impressing people.
I'm Steve, and I'm a musician and a songwriter. I guess my favorite possession is my computer. Well, to be exact, it's Cakewalk, the software I use to write music. It's also great for adding instruments that I can't play, like the trumpet. I just play the trumpet part on my keyboard. It makes life a lot easier.
So, what's the problem, Amanda?
Well, the thing is, I just haven't been feeling well lately.
What do you mean?
Well, I haven't been sleeping well at all.
Uh-huh.
And I've had this pain in my stomach for a while.
I see. Anything else?
Yeah. I've also got a real ache in my shoulders, especially when I'm typing at work.
Okay, let's take a look at your shoulders. Does it hurt when I do this?
Ouch!
All right, Amanda. I think all the things you have wrong with you are caused by stress in your life. Is your job stressful at all?
Oh yeah, it really is. I always have so much pressure.
Yes, well, I recommend taking some time off from work, a week or so. And as for the shoulders, there's nothing seriously wrong with them, but I suggest you try a massage to get rid of the ache. If you like, I can give you details of some spas in town.
We'll get back to the music on your easy listening station, WGEZ, in just a moment. But first, here's Dr. Graham Bain with your 1-minute health break.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. But is healthy living really that simple? Well, here are some of my tips for healthy living. The most important factor in maintaining good health is eating a nutritious diet. Remember, eating well doesn't mean giving up the foods you love. It means choosing wisely from a variety of foods and choosing lower-fat foods more often. Keep in mind, however, that artificially produced vitamins are no substitute for the nutrition we derive from food. So when it comes to vitamins, don't overdo it. Secondly, a good night's sleep is essential to good health and good performance the next day. Get at least 8 hours of sleep a night. A third key factor in maintaining good health, daily exercise. Now, exercise is something many people think they don't have time for, but it only takes about 30 minutes a day to maintain good fitness. We're almost out of time, but here are a few other things you can do to stay healthy. Stay away from cigarettes and don't overdo the alcohol. Finally, take time every day to do something you enjoy, whether it's reading a good book, gardening, or just talking to a friend. Remember, good health means good living. I'm Dr. Graham Bain.
Listen and practice.
Why is there never a bus when you want one?
Good question. There aren't enough buses on this route.
Sometimes I feel like writing a letter to the paper.
Good idea. You should say that we need more subway lines, too.
Yeah, there should be more public transportation in general.
And fewer cars. There's too much traffic.
Say, is that our bus coming?
Yes, it is. But look, it's full.
Oh, no. Let's go and get a cup of coffee. We can talk about this letter I'm going to write.
So, are you really going to write a letter to the paper?
Sure. I'm going to say something about the buses. They're too old. We need more modern buses. Nice, air-conditioned ones.
And they need to put more buses on the road.
Right. And there are too many cars downtown, and there isn't enough parking.
That's for sure. It's impossible to find a parking space downtown these days.
I think they should ban private cars downtown between 9 and 5.
Oh, you mean they shouldn't allow any cars except taxis and buses during the regular workday? That sounds like a really good idea.
One.
In my town, public transportation was never very good. You had to drive everywhere, so there was always traffic. The government wanted to make public transportation easier than driving cars. They bought some nice new buses, for example, and they added air conditioning to the ones we already had. They also began offering lower bus fares on the weekends, so more people would be encouraged to try the new buses. They raised taxi fares, too. I guess they figure that if taxis cost more, people might think about using buses more.
2.
Well, the problem was that thousands of people drove into the city center every day, and there weren't enough parking spaces. So the government wanted to make parking easier. But they didn't build more parking garages. Instead, they tried to keep cars out of the city center. Recently, they started making people who drive their cars downtown pay a daily fee. You have to pay $10 if you want to drive your car into the center between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. At the same time, they have raised the parking lot rates, so people think twice before they drive their car downtown.
3.
Traffic was a real problem around here. It moved so slowly. Last year, the government turned a bunch of streets downtown into one-way streets. This helped the traffic move more quickly. Special lanes on roads just for buses were built at the same time. If you're caught driving your car in a bus lane, you have to pay a fine, and it's a really high fine. Also, they passed a law last year that says you can only drive your car downtown 3 days a week. You have to display a special pass in your car that says which days you're allowed to drive downtown.
4.
Air pollution in our city was a huge problem, and we really need to lower the pollution in our city. I guess that's why the government started putting special bicycle lanes on the streets downtown. That way, people can ride their bikes to work instead of using their stinky cars. They also made a rule that says there must be at least 2 people in your car if you want to drive downtown during the week. They also ordered these amazing new pollution-free buses. They use electricity, so they don't put anything bad into the air.
You'll never guess who I got an email from yesterday.
Who?
Diana Schultz.
Weren't you two an item back in high school? So you got an email from an old flame. Very interesting.
Well, that's ancient history. We lost touch after we went off to college.
What did she say in her email?
She said she was going to be in town next month and wanted to know if I wanted to get together for dinner.
Are you going to go?
I don't know. Her email came out of the blue.
Aren't you dying of curiosity? I know I would be. Maybe she still has feelings for you.
Stop it. It's just dinner, and I'm sure she just wants to catch up on old times. Nothing more.
I wouldn't be so sure. You'll go, right?
I might as well. If I make an excuse, she might think I'm trying to avoid her.
Good. Go, and then tell me all about it afterwards. You know I have no social life, so I live vicariously through you.
Stop making things up. You date more than anyone I know. Okay, I'm going, so stop pestering me.
All right, but I can't wait to hear all about it. All about it.
I've been trying to get up the nerve to ask my girlfriend to marry me. We've been dating for almost a year, and I think she's the one. I went shopping for engagement rings and really hated the experience. I wasn't sure what kind of ring she'd like, and it took me a long time to decide. Finally, with the help of the saleswoman, I picked one. So, I've got the ring. Now I've just got to find the right time to pop the question. I needed to think of a romantic way to propose. I watched enough romantic movies with my girlfriend to know that the proposal has to be something special. I thought about taking her on a trip to Paris and asking her in the City of Love. But I spent all my money on the ring, so that's out of the question. I thought about writing her a love poem and proposing in a poem, but I'm a terrible writer. I thought about serenading her outside her window, but with my voice, I'm sure the neighbors would call the police. I don't know what to do. How do I ask her to marry me? Ask her to marry me.
When I wake up in the early morning light, when I wake up, I know everything's alright. All I have to do is switch on my automatic coffee maker digital radio. It's a wonderful way to start the day. Thanks to digital high technology. Digital high technology. Automatically, my wireless computer tells me all I need to know. The price of jeans in New Orleans and the weather in Tokyo. And I have a cell phone. It's also an MP3. I can use it to make video clips that I want my friends to see. I use it to play computer games. It's no problem at all. I sometimes even use it to make a telephone call. When I go to bed at the end of the day, when I go to bed I know everything's okay. All I have to do is switch on my automatic stereo alarm clock radio. It's a wonderful way to end the day. Thanks to digital high technology, digital high technology. Automatically